AIPAC is trying to buy my race, and we're not going to let that happen. That's why this week is Fuck AIPAC Week. My name is Abughazaleh. I'm a Palestinian American running for Congress in the 9th District of Illinois, and you don't have to be Palestinian to understand why AIPAC sucks. The American Israeli Public Affairs Committee, or AIPAC, is one of the largest PACs in the US, and it spends tens of millions of dollars every year trying to rig races like mine by pouring Republican money into Democratic races, and Republican ones, but especially Democratic ones. In 2024, AIPAC spent more than $100 million trying to defeat progressive pro-peace candidates. They spent $45 million of that just trying to take down Jamal Bowman and Cori Bush for having the gall to call for a ceasefire in Gaza. God, could you imagine what you would do with $45 million? People are rightfully pissed off at AIPAC, but they've been doing this for decades. The only difference is that now all of that meddling and generally shitty behavior has given AIPAC a bad rap. They are toxic to a lot of Americans, which is why AIPAC is now trying some new tactics to more subtly elect representatives that will blindly support Israel. And my race is one of their testing grounds. My race has 17 people in it, which I think is awesome. Hell yeah, competitive primaries. But I'm tied for first with another candidate. The one right below us is only able to stay in this race because of AIPAC's support. Although she would say she's not involved with them. Sure, Laura. I'm just guessing the AIPAC fundraisers around the country are a coincidence. To be fair, those lies did give me one of my favorite headlines of last year. It is unclear how much money AIPAC is willing to spend in my race, but we have heard estimates up to $15 million, which makes sense. I mean, look how scary I am, the big bad Palestinian. And the reason I know they don't like me is because they've said so. In 2025, AIPAC sent out 2 separate emails talking about me. The first called me a dangerous detractor, and the other one sounded kind of like an endorsement. They highlighted how I believe in Palestinian statehood, how I think war criminals should be held accountable, and how I think we should respect the International Criminal Court. Oh no, how horrible. They even end it with, if we don't act now, she could win. That's right. But to be serious, AIPAC is horrible for democracy. It's Republican money being funneled into Democratic races to support the war crimes and apartheid regime of another country. And if you're wondering about my stance on the topic, I've been very clear. Every civilian deserves a safe life. No child deserves to starve. Every war criminal should be held accountable no matter what flag they're under. And Palestinians need recognition of statehood so they can advocate for themselves for any peaceful solution. I don't think that's radical, and neither do the vast majority of Americans. AIPAC will probably call that anti-Semitic, but ignore the fact that Palestinian and Jewish lives are intrinsically intertwined. Our lives, our safety, and our futures are inextricable from each other. And partnering with Republicans who push the Great Replacement, an anti-Semitic white supremacist conspiracy theory that has inspired almost every mass shooting of the 21st century, does a hell of a lot more damage to both of our communities than calling for peace. Just in 2024, AIPAC sought to publicly influence 361 different races, and a shocking number of our representatives are supported by AIPAC. I would give you a specific number, but a lot of times AIPAC tries to cover up its involvement with a candidate. One strategy, which my opponent's taking to, is asking its members to donate as individuals to a candidate or throw fundraisers for that candidate, so it's not technically under AIPAC's name. But you're not slick. We see it. All of this, the lies, the secrets, and the egregious amounts of money are just for one goal: to allow Israel to keep committing war crimes. Americans are being shot in the street by our secret police. We can't afford to go to the doctor or pay rent or get groceries. We get poorer while billionaires become trillionaires. And yet we are expected to sit by and accept the fact that we spend billions upon billions for bombs to be dropped on children rather than improving lives here. Imagine what we could do just with the money AIPAC spends. Not even our tax dollars, but the money they are spending trying to rig our elections. Imagine how many lives we could change. When a representative is bought and paid for by AIPAC, they are telling you that they don't care about your interests. They are prioritizing Israel's. And right now, the priority of Netanyahu's government is to perpetrate a genocide. I promise that as your representative, I will not compromise my conscience and basic human rights. Unlike my opponents, I don't take money from billionaires, corporate PACs, or Republican-funded PACs like AIPAC. I'm also the only candidate in my race to be funded by a majority small dollar donations. And that's not like 51%, by the way. It's like 75%. Even with over 50,000 donors, our average donation is still $30. But we've still got to win against AIPAC. So this week, fuck AIPAC week, we're going to talk about the open secret that so many politicians refuse to acknowledge. We're going to talk about how we can fight for peace rather than war, how we can remove power from institutions like AIPAC, and how we can win against them. But to do that, I'll need your help. First off, send this video to your friends, especially if they live in the 9th District of Illinois. Second, if you really want us to win, donate and volunteer, especially this week. We are trying to prep for an onslaught of millions of dollars to be poured into our race. We are against a powerful lobby, and we can win with grassroots people power, but we need your help to do that. So if you are against the genocide, if you are against election meddling, consider chipping in at catforillinois.com or buying some of our Fuck It, Let's Be AIPAC merch at catforillinois.com/store. And you can volunteer for us too, whether you live in Illinois or across the country. You can check catforillinois.com/events for phone banking and door knocking opportunities. And you can join our Discord at discord.gg/catforillinois for the fastest updates on volunteer opportunities. It's Fuck AIPAC week, y'all. Let's get to it.